بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى الطيبين الطاهرين. Number 32. He is the 12th and the seal of Imams. Number 33. He fills the earth with justice, social justice and equity. 34. He has two occultations. One is longer than the other. 35. He has long occultation till God gives him permission to come out or to uprise. 36. Reason for his occultation. 37. Benefits of Imam in occultation and how to benefit from him. 38. Long life of Imam. 39. He is young and his face never becomes old. 40. His birth is hidden. 41. He is under no allegiance. If البته بدونیم به انگلیسی معنا میده یا بگیم که یا بگیم he has not paid allegiance to anyone. 42. He defeats enemies of God and cleans the earth from polytheism and destroys the government of the tyrants and fights according to the ta'wil of the Quran. 43. He makes divine command or divine affair. بعد ببینیم این امر خدا چیه. And expresses the religion of God and is supported and assisted by the angels and will revive the earth. 44. He brings back people, he brings people back to the Quran and Sunnah of the Prophet. 45. He takes revenge from the enemies. 46. Sunan of the Prophets, you can say traditions or conducts of the Prophets, are among reasons of his occultation. 47. He uprises with sword, and after his uprising it will not help those who have not embraced faith before if they embrace faith. بعد از خروج و قیام او ایمان کسی که قبلا ایمان نیاورده باشد فایده ندارد. So after his uprising, اینجوری بگیم, and after his uprising it would not benefit the faithless to believe. Or it will not benefit the faithless to believe after his uprising. 48. All people obey him. 49. Conduct of Imam Mahdi. 50. Ascetic life of Imam Mahdi. 51, perfection of justice and the spread of justice and security during his reign. REIGN فکر کنم به معنی حاکمیت دولت. 52, knowledge of the Imam. 53, generosity of Imam, and that he would give away money without counting. 54, legacies of the prophets are with him, or inheritance of the prophets. باید ببینیم جمع چی به کار میره. مواریث، legacies، inheritance بکنم جمع بسته نمیشه. So همشه legacies باید بگیم. Of the prophets are with him, and Allah would expose them with his hand, hand Imam eche kuchik, with his hand, in order to complete the hujjah for people. 55, he would not uprise, or his advent would not take place unless people are tested severely and great hardship for believers. 56, Isa, Jesus, follows him in prayer. 57, he has the banner of the Prophet and what is written on that banner. 58, birth of Imam and his mother. 59, miracles of the Imam during the life of his father. یا میشه extraordinary acts بگیم، کرامات. حالا اینجا گفته معجزات ولی extraordinary acts بگیم بهتره. 60, those who have seen him during the life of his father. 61, those who have seen him during minor occultation. 62, some of the extraordinary acts of Imam during minor occultation. 63, biographies of deputies of Imam during minor occultation. 64, extraordinary acts of Imam during major occultation. 65, those who have seen him during major occultation. 66, the way he uprises. 67, the world before appearance of Imam, before the advent of Imam. Like we have the globe before the advent of Imam. So you can say the globe before the advent of Imam. داخل پرانتز corruption, injustice, sins, etc. 68, some of the signs of zuhur, some of the signs of appearance. 69, ندای آسمانی, heavenly call and its content. 70, گرانی و گرانی مریضی. گرانی رو باید نگاه کنیم ببینیم چی میشه، چون مثلا بگیم قیمت بالاست غیر از گرانیه، نمیشه گفت مثلا expensive rates or high rates. گرانی حالا باید پیدا کنیم. مریضی هم که illness یا disease. 71 سفیانی، خسف بیدا، killing of نفس زکیه، یمانی، سیحه cry. 72 خروج دجال coming of دجال. حالا بعضی میگن آنتی کرایست دجال رو ترجمه کنیم، فکر کنم همون دجال بگیم بهتره. 73 prohibition of fixing the time of ظهور. 74 year, month and day of coming of Imam. خروج رو هم باید یه فکری براش بکنیم تو این کتاب. coming مثلا بگیم advent بگیم. 75 where Imam appears and the location of his member pulpit. 76 way of paying allegiance to him. 77 he conquers east and west of the world. Yeah, he conquers east and the west, east and west. 78 all will embrace Islam, and after his coming they would not worship other than God, and the government of falsehood would be destroyed. 79 earth would disclose its treasures and mines. 80 blessings of your bounties, barakat, blessings of sky and earth would be disclosed. 89 313 men come to him in the same time and some of their characteristics. 82 people of east and west get together around him. 83 he fills the earth with social justice and equity. 84 descents of Jesus and saying prayer behind him. 85 he kills Dajjal. 86 his fight against Sufyani. 87 development of the earth during his governance. 88 facilitating affairs and evolution of intellects in his age. 89 merits of Imam Mahdi. 90 power and firmness of Imam Mahdi. 91 period or مدت حکومت, duration of his government or his governance after Zuhur, after coming. 92 his style of his life, his lifestyle and his way of dressing and eating. 93 what he calls to and what he acts upon. 94. Prohibition of denying him. 95. Merits and virtue, merit and virtue of awaiting his faraj. 96. Duties of the Shia towards him. 97. Reward of those who witness him and follow him. 98. Virtue of those who believe in him during occultation and remain firm with respect to his wilayah. 99. How to say salam and send salutations to him. How to send greetings and salutations to him. 100. Prayers of Imam Mahdi. Conclusion. According to Muntakhab al-Athar, 157 books and a total of 6,036 hadith اینجوری بگیم. The book Muntakhab al-Athar has surveyed 157 books and a total of 6,036 hadiths and has mentioned 922 of those hadiths. Hadiths which are narrated about Imam Mahdi can be classified as follows. First, hadith which are which interpret riwayat tafsiri. So there are hadiths that are related to particular verses of the Quran, and they interpret the verse as a reference to Imam Mahdi. So they apply those verses to Imam Mahdi. 2. Riwayat ikhbari. These are hadiths that talk about future, like occurrence of ghaiba, occultation, the world before zuhur, before coming of Imam, signs of zuhur, glad tidings about zuhur, physical characteristics of Imam, conduct of Imam, characteristics of his friend or his followers, and the process of uprising, and a description of the time of his governance. 3. Riwayat tabyini. These are hadiths that explain the reason for occultation, significance of awaiting, duties of those who await Imam, the ruling about mentioning the name of Imam or fixing the time of Zuhur. Dal, historical hadith, riwayat tarihi, hadith that explain birth of Imam, genealogy of Imam, and some of his extraordinary acts. 2. پس یک موضوعات حدیث بود. 2. تعداد احادیث معصومان. موضوعات از خودم توضیح میدم. موضوعات این بود که میگفتیم موضوع رو از قرار بدیم. حالا توی موضوع ممکن از امام‌های مختلف باشه. راجع به این موضوع انقدر حدیث داریم از امام‌های مختلف یا پیامبر. الان امام رو از قرار میدیم، از این امام انقدر حدیث راجع به امام زمان داریم. حالا راجع به موضوعات مختلف. So, number of hadith of infallibles. Just بگیم که by just referring to the book معجم احادیث الامام المهدی, we find 1941 hadith, unique hadith, means without any repetition. From Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam 560 hadith, from Imam Ali 130 hadith, from Imam Hassan 9 hadith, from Imam Hussein 10 hadith, from Imam Sajjad 22 hadith, from Imam Baqir 60 hadith, from Imam Sadiq 297 hadith, from Imam Kazim 19 hadith, from Imam Raza 30 hadith, from Imam Jawad 9 hadith, from Imam Hadi 13 hadith, from Imam Askari 42 hadith, and then 130 tawqi and dua from Imam Zaman, and more than 500 hadiths are mentioned in the 5th volume of Mu'jam Ahadith al-Imam Mahdi about the verses which refer to Imam Mahdi and his characteristics. 3. Narrators of hadith about Mahdi among Sahaba companions. So this is about companions who have the Prophet, who have narrated hadith about Imam Mahdi. Maybe we can put in this one. Studying the books which are dedicated to Imam Mahdi, or the books which have discussed Imam Mahdi among other subjects, we realize that at least about 60 companions of the Prophet have reported hadith about Imam Mahdi directly from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Here we only mention names of some of those companions whose hadith are mentioned in Sunni references. This by itself shows that the hadith about Imam Mahdi are from the Prophet are authentic, and proves that the idea of Al-Mahdi in Islam is one of the most established subjects and has great level of validity. 1. خب الان ما صحابه پیامبر رو نقل میکنیم. فاطمه الزهرا سلام الله علیها, martyred in 11 after Hijrah. 2. Ma'adh ibn Jabal, died in 18 after Hijrah. 3. Qutadah ibn Nu'man, died 23 after Hijrah. 4. Umar ibn Khattab, died 23 after Hijrah. 5. Abu Dharr Ghifari, died 32. 6. Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib, died 32. 7. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, died 32. 8 Uthman ibn Affan, died 35. 9 Salman Farsi, died 32. 10 Talhat ibn Ubaidullah, died 36. 11 Huzayfat ibn Yaman, Huzayfat ibn Yaman, died 36. 12 Ammar ibn Yasir, martyred 37. 13 Amirul Mu'mineen, Ali alayhi salam, martyred 40 Hijri. 14 Zayd ibn Thabit, died 45 Hijri. 15 Tamim al-Dari, died 50 after that. 16 Imam Hassan ibn Ali, martyred 50th after Hijrah. 17 Abdul Rahman ibn Samura, died 50 after Hijrah. 18 Majma' ibn Jariyah, died 50 after Hijrah. 19 Imran ibn Hasin Basad یا حسین باساد باید نگاه کنیم, died 52 after. 20 ابو ایوب انصاری, دیگه من دایداشو نمیگم دیگه. 22 ثوبان غلام رسول الله, means ثوبان servant of the messenger of God. 22 Aisha. 23 Abu Huraira. 24 Imam Hussein alayhi salam. 25 Al-Qamat ibn Qais ibn Abdullah. 26 Salama. 27 Abdullah ibn Umar. 28 Abdullah ibn Amr As. 29 Abdullah ibn Abbas. 30 Zayd ibn Arqam. 31 Auf ibn Malik. 32 Abu Sa'id Khuddari. 33 Jabir ibn Samura. 34 Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. 35 Abdullah ibn Ja'far al-Tayyar. 36 Abu Amama باهلی. اینا لطفاً پرونانسیشن ابو امامه است با همزه ها, باهلی. 37 بشر ابن منذر ابن جارود. 38 عبدالله ابن حارث. 39 سهل ابن سعد ساعدی. 40 انس ابن مالک. 41 ابو الطفیل. 42 حبیده نوشته, چک بشه, حبیده. 43 ابو جحاف, چک بشه. 44 ابو سلما باید باشه ظاهرا, shepherd of the prophet. 45 ابو لیلا. 46 ابو واهل حدیقت ابن اسید. 47 حرث ابن ربیع. 48 ابو قتاده انصاری. 49 زر ابن عبدالله, زاد راه دارم باشه, حالا چک بشه. 50 زرارت ابن عبدالله. 51 عبدالله ابن ابی اوفا. 52 علا ابن بشیر مزنی یا مزنی, چک بشه. 53 علی هلالی. 54 قرة ابن عیاس. 55 عمرو ابن مره جوهنی. Conclusion. After examination of hadith about Imam Mahdi, we find two characteristics which show the significance of the topic of Mahdawiyya in Islamic teaching and help the seekers of the path of happiness in finding bright horizons of future, and also would block the way for those who deny and reject. A. تواتر احادیث امام مهدی. Hadith about Imam Mahdi are mutawatir, means frequently mentioned, so frequently mentioned in every generation that would leave no chance for fabrication or for mistake. I think I stop here. خب من اینجا پس توقف میکنم. رسیدیم سر تواتر احادیث امام مهدی.